Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
प्रभु नित्यानंद
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta
Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Krishna Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas College Station, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to our next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before that, may I know who all joined this morning?
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी from Charlotte. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every single day. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय. This is Arvind Daksdas from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Arvindaksha Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna Yashumati Priya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day, early morning, mid-morning, chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, and pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Vijay, Vrinda from Atlanta, Paniyati.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devidasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day and chanting so nicely. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Hope your internet is back, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, it is back now.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Vinita Gandhavika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 2nd chapter, 32 verse. Before I hand over call to Maharaj, I would like to read introduction about Maharaj. His Holiness Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj was born in Brahman family in 1944. Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj was working as a research biochemist in Purvashram in East Africa and the United States. Within a week of his arrival in USA, Maharaj had the association of his disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. Circumstances led Vedavyas Priya Swami to give up mundane research and take full shelter of the supreme absolute truth. Since before his first initiation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada in 1977 in New York, Maharaj has served in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in various capacities, including personal secretary to the GBC, president of ISKCON Queens, New York, director of Bharatiya Committee Services in New Vrindavan. After 1987, Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj shifted attention to serving India, following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada that very Indian trained in the Western must help to serve in India. Since 1991, Maharaj has been based in Vrindavan, India, and his services has included overseeing the functioning of an ashrama in Vrindavan and also Bharatpur ashrama, and wider services of regional secretary in Punjab and Haryana, and as a chairman of North India Temple Divisional Council for 7 years following its inspection. Since 1998, Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj has been serving Srila Prabhupada and his movement as an initiating spiritual master, and has been preaching far and wide throughout the world the message of Guru and Krishna. He is currently free from management duties, making full commitment to give spiritual guidance, preaching and teaching to devotees in all level of advancement in Krishna consciousness, philosophy, sadhana, deity worship, and temple seva. We are very fortunate to have His Holiness Vedavyasa Swami Priya Maharaj for enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your wonderful services, Maharaj. I'm so happy to see you after a long time. I would like to hand over the call to you, Maharaj. Over to you. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, chapter number 2, and the last verse of the elephant Gajendra's crisis. And the text number 33. I was given 33. The last verse. You haven't done 32 yet?
The poster said 32, Mataji.
We can do 32 also. I was given text number 33.
Mataji, that was a mistake in the poster. I forwarded the same poster to Maharaj, so that's why. But we have to read 32, Maharaj.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gajendra Moksham is very spiritually enlivening topic. Even Gajendra Akhyan, the story of Gajendra and all the circumstances that they what we call cursed body of the king. We see that he got the body of the elephant, and elephants are very socially integrated, and as male elephant, he has so many duties to so many kinsmen. Is the head of the herd. So similarly, in the cursed body, all the animals have the sense of some sort of responsibility due to attachment to the bodily conception of life, and it increases and increases and increases. But at last, nobody comes to the help when an imminent danger on the life is concerned. So, how Gajendra has remembered the shelter of the Lord that he previously, worshipped. So, regardless, in the continuation of the spiritual life, we also face many things. And due to the previous attachment, even though we know Krishna consciousness, but if it is not matured, then we end up in facing a sudden or an abrupt stop of devotional service, and to face some consequences that are like Gajendra's crisis. But Krishna consciousness can be retained because it belongs to the soul. And when soul is imbued, and when a critical time of the point of between life and death is concerned, one can remember, due to the mercy of the devotional service itself, that the Smriti, Jnana, and Apohanam, all three comes to him by the mercy of Krishna. Here the verse is, Namami me gyataya aturam gajaha kutah karinya prabhavanti mochitum grahena pashena vidyatura vruto apyaham chatam yami paramparayanam. No, not ma, me, ime, all this, jnatayaha, friends and relatives, and other elephants, of course. Aturam, in my distress. Gajaha, elephants. Kutaha, how. Karinyaha, my wives. Prabhavanti, are able, mochitam, to deliver from the dangerous position. Grahena, by the crocodile. Pashena, by the network of ropes. Vadatuhu, of providence. avrutaha, captured, api, although I am in such a position, aham, I, cha, also, tam, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, yami, takes shelter of, param, who is transcendental, parayanam, who is the shelter of even the exalted demigods like Brahma and Shiva. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The other elephants who are my friends and relatives could not rescue me from this danger. What to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything. It is by the will of the providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile, and therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always the shelter of everyone, even of the great personalities. This material world is described as padam padam yadabi padam natesham. So, which means that at every step there is danger. A fool wrongly thinks that he is happy in this material world, but in fact he is not. For one who thinks that way is only illusion. At every step, at every moment, there is danger. In modern civilization, one thinks that if he has a nice home, a nice car, his life is perfect. In the Western countries, especially in America, it is very nice to possess a good car, but as soon as one is on the road, there is danger because at any moment an accident may take place and one will be killed. The record actually shows that so many people die in such accidents. Therefore, if we actually think that this material world is a very happy place, that is our ignorance. Real knowledge is that which this material world is full of danger. We may struggle for existence as far as our intelligence allows and may try to take care of ourselves, but unless the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, ultimately saves us from danger, our attempts will be useless. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says, Balasya neha sharanam pitarau nrasingha nartasya chagadam udanvati majjato no taptasya tat pratividhir yah ihanjanesast tavad vibhotanubrutam tavad upekshitanam. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 9th chapter, 19th verse, prayers by Prahlad Maharaj. We may invent so many ways to be happy or to counteract the dangers of this material world. But unless our attempts are sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they will never make us happy. Those who try to be happy without taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are mudhas, rascals. Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradhama. Those who are the lowest of men refuse to take Krishna consciousness because they think that they will be able to protect themselves without Krishna's care. This is their mistake. The decision of the king of the elephant, Gajendra, was correct. In such a dangerous position, he sought the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jata.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj's video is frozen for me also, Mataji.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Yes, we cannot hear. I think Maharaj will join back. Yeah, Maharaj is back. Hare Krishna.
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. This is a beautiful purport of Srila Prabhupada, which is pertaining to us at present. Of course, the situation was already forecasted on the onset of Kali Yuga when Lord Krishna disappeared. Kali took the charge, and everything is working under the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Shri Krishna. And Lord Shri Krishna created this situation, but on the other behalf, Lord Krishna is also so kind to the devotees who are favorably inclined to serve him by remembering him constantly. So, to make us remember of Lord Shri Krishna's mercy and love towards all the living entities, we have to remember his teaching. And by constant practice, tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yanamam upayanti. He will give sufficient intelligence to go back to him. But what do we have in our hand, in our will or desire, that we must do the practice of Krishna consciousness throughout our life? And that was the only criteria for the upper class of people in Varnashram Dharma to follow Krishna consciousness. Of course, in Kali Yuga, the ashrams are also affected because of the nullification of good characters of first three yugas. In Kali Yuga, we are but unfortunate. Prayanalpayusya sabya kalavasmin yuge janaha mandahasu mandamatayo mandabhagyahi upatrata. So, in Kali Yuga, everything is at odds. Even if we desire, we face so many difficulties. But yet, we want to know by dint of material education that survival of the fittest. And you can only survive if you are educated of material nature. But material nature is working under Lord Krishna's jurisdiction. Maya dakshena prakriti suyati sacharacharam. Hetunanena kaunte jagatvi parivartate. We do not involve Krishna at all. That's why we are facing the reverses. We do not want to involve him, even though we need help. So by good fortune of birth, we think that, in the hard times, I have to remember. No, even in good times, you have to remember, because material nature was never safe. Even in Satya Yuga, what to speak of Treta and Dwapar. In Kali Yuga, no qualifications are there. Even for purificatory processes, we see that yajna dana tapa kriya pavanani manishinam. So not tyajyam iti should not be given up. But the meritorious nature of this yajna dana tapa kriya, yajna for Treta Yuga, Tapa was for Satya Yuga, and Dwapara, Dwapare Paricharya. Paricharya means you wholeheartedly so paricharya means you wholeheartedly devote yourself in service of Lord Krishna. That was Dwapara Yuga. Well, the holy name. And that also, it's so much troublesome. It doesn't come as a second habit even. Those who are trying to progress in devotional service, they must go through the scrutiny of different elements that makes us not chant purely, like ignorance, then anarthas and aparadhas. Even though we have special, sessions in what we call seminars and other things of Harinam Chintamani, yet there is a great resistance of our material association that we may not wholeheartedly accept in our life. Human life is meant to perform Krishna consciousness, because it is said to be most important, where the living entity can identify himself as Atma and not this material body. So, the failure of most of the people in not understanding the Atma Tattva, apashyatam Atma Tattvam griheshu grihamedhinam. Atma Tattva is completely eradicated, and we become Grahamedhi instead of Grahastha. And at what extent we struggle to remain Grahastha, only the devotees who have given the promise to chant Hare Krishna lifelong, and to improvise themselves by conscious study of what are the pitfalls, aparadhas, and avoid them. So, constant recitation is to remind oneself of the methodology that our predecessor acharyas have, outlined, and that is for our safety, because all this awareness for our all safe chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if it is neglected, then naturally will be facing consequences which are not favorable for our upliftment in Krishna consciousness. So these are called weaknesses. The Hriday Daurbalyam, the material desires are sunk deep in our heart, and that make our heart weak to look into the healthy situations of Krishna consciousness. If the heart is weak, you will not look anything at the level of the heart. The heart means that level of our being, where we are being infused by the Paramatma with consciousness, which is divine energy, to connect us. But our connection, even though through the bodily conception, we have been given 5 senses, and 5 sense organs, plus 5 working senses in order to perceive the reality. But another thing, we have not been properly taught, and we ended up abusing our senses. The senses are supposed to be remaining in service of the master of the senses. That is called bhakti. Sarvapadir vinirmuktam tatparitva nirmalam rishikena rishikesham sevanam bhakti ruchyate. We have learned this, but still in application, we are getting tempted. So naturally, when our senses are abused, but everything will come at the time of death, right in front of us. We know that material world is a dangerous place. It is never a happy place. By all this life of experiences, samasritaye padapallava plavam mahatpadam punya yasho murare pavam buddhi vatsapadam padam padam yat padam natesham. Prabhupada quoted this verse, that at every step there is danger. But those who have taken utter shelter, samasrita padapallava plavam, the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, mahatpadam, this is the greatest effort or the step that a devotee takes in his life, punya yasho murare, and it is so much purifying because all the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very purifying just to hear. Krishna is glorified by the name Uttama Sloka, that his glories are spoken in choicest words. Kaha Uttama Sloka Gunanuvadan Puman Birajyada Binapashugna. Who cannot chant the glories of the holy name? Unless one is the killer of the self. Atmaha is a killer of the self. So those who are ignoring their soul's upliftment to its natural position, that because it is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it must be divine, it must be pure, it must be on that level of Lord Shri Krishna. That is our technology in chanting Hare Krishna and how to meditate, even though we are surrounded by Maya. Brahma teaches us in Brahma Samhita, Maya hi yasya jagadanda satani sute traigunya tad vishaya ved vitaya mana sattvaavalambi vishuddha sattvam sattvaavalambi parasattvam vishuddha sattvam govindamadi purushantamam bhajami. Sattva we must accept. Parasattva we must contemplate on our divinity through Adhyatma or the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. So that will be acquired during the human form of life, and it may retain as our consciousness, as our purified consciousness. So Vishuddha Sattvam is the level where Lord Shri Krishna resides. So we have to approach through Vishuddha Sattva. Lord can appear only in that state. So Gajendra's efforts in the previous life were sufficient enough to make him remind at the time of the critical situation that he is observing. And he says he cannot depend upon Asat Sainya, the false army that he was carrying. His friends, family members, Nobody can save him. And he realizes that. Because once the consciousness is in a critical situation, the remembrance is supplied by Lord Shri Krishna. King Nahush must have done so much meritorious activities, in his life. So naturally, it comes in the way. Gajendra decided by what we call a discriminating intelligence. Discriminating intelligence is very essential. Intelligence has only one function, to understand what is the absolute truth and what is relative truth. He will not depend upon relative truth, but only absolute truth. So, nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate asat ubayorapi drashto antatattvadarshivih. If you are seeker of the truth of your own reality, then you must depend upon your, intelligence, which is well defined, well calculated. That is called sankalpa. We are giving sankalpa as a sacrifice for the Lord's pleasure. When we got initiated with the sankalpa, we did that we will chant minimum 16 rounds a day and improvise ourselves. Then follow 4 regulative principles, which are at least liberating principles. But then we are able to enter into some intricate, leelas, which are very divine. So unless and until we come to the platform of divinity, because the soul is divine and super soul is divine, naturally that sense has to come. So that divinity will begin after Nishtha stage. Nishtha is a liberating stage, and we will be able to achieve that. So this is a very progressive process, and Krishna gives so much guarantee even in Bhagavad Gita that we have to change our attitude. We should not be envious of anybody. Only then and then we'll be qualified to get the most confidential knowledge through intellectual discernment, intellectual discrimination, that's it. So for the absolute, it is ever existing, and what is temporary doesn't have any endurance. So all the bodily conceptions are temporary, and we cannot depend upon them for our spiritual progress. So both by intellectual discrimination as well as the practical experiences guided by Rupa Goswami and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we need to develop, all the sentiments that was misused or misapplied in our material life. The same will be developed for eternal and spiritual relationship with Lord Shri Krishna. So, otherwise, material nature is so much a dangerous place. When Prahlad Maharaj was told by Brahma to pacify Lord Nrsingadev, he recited this particular verse, that Balasya neha saranau pitarau nrsimha, that unless and until one takes shelter of Lord Nrsingadev, even a child like him, Nartasya chagadam udanvati majjato no. There is no rescue for the child. So taptasya tat pratividhiri ya ihanjases tavat vibhot anubratam tavad upekshitam. Tavad upekshitana means if you are being ignored, my dear Lord, then even a father cannot save his son, Bala. Even a son can die before his father. You remember that story of Brahman who was coming to complain Lord Krishna and Balaram in Dwarka. And his question, because whenever his son is born, he will immediately die. And the Brahman knew that here is Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he claims himself. So he was challenging. How come when you are present, my child is dying? And not only, I think, 6 times, 7 times. At that time, Arjun was there. Arjun was thinking that Brahman has doubt. His 6 children have died and Krishna did not do anything. Now on the 7th, I am there. And why he is harassing my Lord? So he busted out, who are you trying to chastise? Is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it is the duty of his devotee like me that I will take the responsibility to make sure that next time when your son is born, he will live. And 7th time also, the son died. So in that conversations, otherwise, Arjun would have to lay himself in the fire pit. So the Brahman came, look, you were boasting too much of your devotional service. Look, my son died. Now enter into fire. That's your promise, right? But then Krishna is intervening. Krishna is intervening. Why? Because Arjun was the most dear, his friend as well as devotee, and he made him, the Pandavas win the Kurukshetra war. So Arjun, I will promise that we'll go and get the children of this Brahman. So say, Brahman, you give us some time, we'll be returning. Bring all your children back. And then he takes Arjun on his Garuda, and Krishna is flying all the way up to the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu are past and going up to Karnodakshai Vishnu's level. You know the story, and they retrieve the sons because Mahavishnu would come himself and steal the children of Brahma. And that is in Dwarka. And Krishna knew everything. So Krishna is chastising Mahavishnu. Why you were not coming to see me? And just like a thief, you will steal the children and go away. So that shows the superiority of Lord Krishna's divinity over Mahavishnu. Arjuna understood that. It's fine. But the point is that that was the end of Dwapara Yuga, and Kali was already showing such symptoms that even in the presence of Father, when children can die, even in the presence of a doctor, a patient can die. They are not saviors, because in every case, the death is ordained to those who are neglecting the Supreme Personality of God. Spirit soul will be living forever in its original body, that is spiritual, Satchidananda. And that is the real crux, that if we remain ignorant about our spiritual nature, spiritual body, spiritual function, that once upon a time we were doing it, we have to go back, and otherwise there is no peace, no perfectness of the bodily conception of life. There is nothing. It's all temporary and cheating experiences. So one must strive, and such remembrance will be forever. We will never forget. So Gajendra never forgot, and he used to pray for the mercy of the Lord in his king's form in previous life. And he remembered that I can't depend upon the fallible soldiers of my bodily conception. I have to take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was doing that before. Let me start from it. So he started praying. He decided, but it's an intellectual discrimination that he did it, which is the very function of the intelligence. It is retained by the mercy of the Lord, but we must constantly strive. That is, Tesham Satatayuktanam Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Bhakti Yogam Tam Yena Mamupayanti Te. So Buddhi Yoga is nothing but Bhakti Yoga, but it comes through a very resolute determination, a resolute function of the intelligence, right? So Gajendra had that, and we see that otherwise material world is a place of danger. At every step there is danger. And we are advised to take utter shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person of Godhead. For the devotees, the insurmountable, ocean of material suffering will become just like a little poodle of a calf hoof print. When calf goes in the mud and rainy season, that hoof print will hold that much water. So the whole material world will become of that particular size. So when Mahat Padam is taken shelter of, the small Padam can be easily surmounted. Krishna's lotus feet are called Mahat Padam. Samasritaye Pad Pallavaplavam Mahat Padam Punya Yasho Murare. Lord Krishna's, who is the killer of the demon, Murari, to take his the lotus feet in our heart and soul and serve him through this devotional service. Then this Bhavam Buddhi, the insurmountable material ocean, becomes Vatsapadam, the water contained in the hoof prints of a calf. Vatsapadam. Otherwise, Padam Padam Yadavi Padam Natesham. Padam Padam means every step of going through the material world, Vipada is there. Vipada means problems. Dangers. Vipad means dangers. Even in the sense of the material world as the reflection of the world, the Vatavruksha tree as described in 15th chapter is also Bhavatavi. Once you enter into it, it's difficult to get out, but only you can get out with the help of knowledge and detachment. You have to be equipped with the proper knowledge of the absolute truth and take the acts of vairagya and cut the entangling aspects. There is no other way. Householders also have to cultivate vairagya. This elephant was a householder, but he saw the situation that they are unable to help. They may cry in front of you, but they are not of any encouragement to remind you of Krishna. So, it's called Asat Sainya in Bhagavatam. Asat Sainya. This is our army. We think, oh, I have this relative, that relative, I have wife, I have children, they are grown up, they can take care of me. No, nobody will be able to take care of you. So everybody has to make his own emanation of Gyan and Vairagya. Gyan means spiritual knowledge about our reality, and Vairagya means detachment from the material world. These are the two things which are concomitant factors in performing pure devotional service. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janatyasu Jnanam Vairagyam Chadahetukam. We must be able to see in our spiritual life at any stage how much Gyan and how much Vairagya, how much spiritual knowledge and how much detachment from the material world I have cultivated. You know the 10th offense? The 10th offense is to have material attachments even after understanding so many warnings and of other offenses, to continue with material attachment. This is completely contradictory for the purpose of even chanting of the holy name. So what to speak? If we are attached to the material nature, then we are not progressing. Material nature within the house, even though we may be called grahastha, but actually our mentality is of grahamedi, and that will prevent us to look into the absolute necessity of Jnana and Vairagya. As much we have, the Jnana and Vairagya are coming through, they are concomitant factor of the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. It is not bookish knowledge. But you have to take the risk. You can't sit idle and gossip or just simply discussing Of course, it is the business. Machita madgata prana bodhayantascha paraspa. But bodhayantascha of what? We must be addressed or addressing about Jnana and Vairagya. Because they are concomitant factor. They are byproducts of our bhakti. So the main product we are targeting is the love of Godhead, but byproducts comes first. And byproducts are Jnana and Vairagya. So all those things are coming in a very stage-wise progression, and we must intellectually applying our functions in that aspect of remembering Lord Shri Krishna with Jnana and Vairagya. And then it will be very easy to surmount all the material difficulties. So Gajendra, even though he's animal, but he's a soul who performed some meritorious activities of devotional service in his previous life. It didn't go in vain. Even though he was cursed to become elephant, it didn't go in vain. Just like Vritrasur, he was Chitraketu, got educated from Lord Shankarshan, but came back to earthly planet to enjoy the rule and the amenities in ruling. Happened to, come to a very situation which was quite contradictory that amused him, that Lord Shiva was sitting with Mother Parvati in her lap, and he was discussing spiritual topics with the sadhus of Naimisharanya. And he happened to pass and he laughed. The unique position of Lord Shiva. Nobody else can imitate like that. But Parvati took as an insult and wanted to curse him. And Lord Shiva was preventing. Parvati, do not curse him. He's a devotee. He's a devotee. So when Chitraketu found out that Parvati is very disturbed by his laughter, he came and spoke. My dear mother, I'm not afraid of your curse. I know which position I am, and I will stay within that, regardless of your curse. And Lord Shiva said, look, Parvati is a devotee. A devotee is never afraid of any situation the material nature will give. All right? If we have ever some kind of fear, some kind of material desire which are contradictory to Krishna consciousness, then immediately turn to Lord Nrsingadev and pray, just like the residents of Haryashwar tract of land under the tutelage of Prahlad Maharaj. They pray with this, Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsinghaya, Namaste Jastejase Avirbhav, Vajranakha, Vajradramshta, Karmashayan, Randaya, Randaya, Tamo Grasa, Grasa, Om Swaha, Abhayam, Abhayam, Atmani, Bhanishtam, Om Kshram. Oh my Lord Nrsingadev, you have teeth and nails like thunderbolts. They are very powerful. Please tear my demon-like desires in my heart. Tear them, so that we may become fearless in the struggle for existence. This is a beautiful prayer, that let not any demon-like desire generate due to whatever the influence of the modes of material nature is. And we will become quite aware through intellectual discrimination to prevent ourselves into nullifying those desires within before even they do. Otherwise, this desire, if they are nurtured, then they come in our thought and words, and ultimately it will become in our manifestation of activity of demoniac nature. So we become demon. So Prahlad Maharaj teaches us very, very profound knowledge to how to pray to the Lord Nrsingadeva. Please appear in our hearts and drive our ignorance by your mercy, that we will become fearless and struggle for material existence. Material existence is not a fearful place if we are simply remaining Krishna conscious. A devotee will never become deviated by seeing an external fearful situation. He is confident of Lord Shri Krishna's protection. Okay. So I will stop here. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy, because that is the spiritual platform where we are supposed to live. And if any danger in our life comes, pray to Lord Nrsingadev ardently to make us fearless first, rather than let him eradicate the fear of so-called material conception. We have to struggle for existence, but fearlessly. We don't have to give a burden of our safety on Lord Shri Krishna. But become fearless, become confident that you will surmount this treacherous material existence, and by fixing your consciousness on the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. So thank you very much. Anybody has any question or comments?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hari Bol.
Pranam Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj Ji, Dandavat Pranam.
Any question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, there is one raised hand. RJ Dasi, I don't know who is it. Please go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji. My humble obeisance to you. My question to you is, you mentioned about the fearlessness, and when we navigate in this material world, we will not face the fearlessness very immediately. Like there'll be certain peak points or threshold points where the fear will come, and it will be testing the faith. So my question to you is, how exactly we will cultivate our consciousness in such a way that at the peak point or the threshold time, we can sustain with our faith instead of giving power to the fear?
See, the thoughts of our safety, thoughts of our balancing between material world and spiritual world, or material activities and spiritual activities, you have to juggle. But this juggle becomes hard when we are not able to balance it. Now, most of us, we have to have most minimum requirement for our livelihood. You have to work, will keep the body and soul together, that much only, not otherwise. So it becomes an easy to, without any future, provisions, especially to make for easy life. No. Investment in some bond and stock is also a gambling. But if we live simple living and high thinking, they go together. But it gives us opportunity to handle everything which is very essential to make progress in devotional service. Because in intensified devotional service is required. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajata purusham param. So, how do we know that we will be able to have a free hand in developing the intensified devotional service? Unless and until we have less worries of material nature. The worries are coming by over-attachment of the material nature. So there's a practical, simple living and high thinking. A complicated living and high thinking cannot happen. It is contradictory. Bhogeshwari prasaktanam taya pratachetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhav na vidiyate. Oh, life is a fun. But you can have fun up to you are working, but panchashat vanam gachet. Now start giving up everything and go to the secluded place. Secluded means you don't have to go to vanam, but you have to create such a place within your heart where there is no fear. Otherwise, previously, even the wild animals were there, but yogis were not fearful. That is practical there during Satya Yoga time. So, these demon-like desires can be demon-like. You know what demons desire? If such desires are popping in our mind, then it will disturb us because it has a nature of disturbance. But if we nurture those desires, then we will end up spitting out from the mouth, and actions will be louder. So the idea is there that we need to be rather self-centered, means soul-centered, not self-centered, soul-centered. And we need always to keep on developing that I am soul and I don't want to remain in ignorance. I will take all the help from all the senior devotees so I can get liberated from this material nature. And that is, Nishtha will tell you that without even giving a body, you will act in such purity that will be the stage of liberation. Even Rupa Goswami tells in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that Nishtha is a stage which comes after anartha nivritti. But as soon as the anarthas are eradicated, even there is some residual anartha is remaining, Nishtha will jump over. So don't worry.
Krishna, I'm not able to hear you, Maharaj. Is everybody not able to hear Maharaj?
Yes, I can't hear Mataji.
Yeah. But Maharaj is speaking. Oh, now his video got froze. Let's wait for Maharaj to join back. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
So, this is an internal development, and we must progress further.
Maharaj ji, I'm sorry to disturb you, but you mentioned about being soul-centered, and after that we lost your connection. So could you please continue with the soul-centered
Yeah,
thing?
right. That we have to become soul-centered and see the functionality of the pure devotional service pursuits. अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्मादान आनुकूल्येन कृष्णानुशीलनम भक्तिरुत्तमा. That uttam bhakti will be performed only after you retire from the active material life. Right? So we must have a tangible progress, and we dwell into further technique of internal bhajan, and it will develop, Anyway, how many births are we going to take? If this is the only chance we have been given, then we must work hard to cross over the insurmountable, the material ocean of this existence. Bodily conception is the biggest blockade. Is that good enough?
Yes, you have given me all the practical tips. And my another question to you is, say if I get a chance in this particular life to serve Lord, and it is very visible that Lord is trying to help me a lot, but I'm not able to take it because I'm thinking there'll be some another side which I won't be able to counteract. In this situation, how to trust Lord, because he is taking very drastic decisions or a big decisions that I'm not able to digest or even trust it.
No.
So how I should approach
Adav
or do my
Shraddha.
devotional service?
Adav Shraddha. Shraddha means Shraddha Shabdesu Dhrada Vishwasa Kar Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Karile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. Whatever you do must become Krishna conscious. You are intelligent enough to make it Krishna conscious. Whatever you do, because you have a unflinching faith in Lord Krishna's mercy. Krishna Bhakti Karile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. That is Shraddha. Shratadhana. Shrat means eternal. Dha means diya. It's an intellectual resolve that I'm spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. I must make it through. Asraddhana purushash dharmasyasya parantapa aprapno nivartante mam mrityu sansara vartanaya. If we fail to develop that resolute faith on Lord Shri Krishna, then it's a part-time job. You won't get the full salary. You have to continue. If not in this life, okay, next life. But you are employed in Krishna's service, more or less. This life is very, very, precious. That if we are able to give it in service to Lord Shri Krishna and Prabhupada, it will be the most fortunate situation that we ever will have. The rest is misfortune.
How far we should take a risk in this situation?
Well, it depends upon if our Shraddha is weak, then we will not be making tangible progress. We will try to compromise with material nature, you know. Material nature is educating us by force. That nature is working under Krishna's jurisdiction, not in our jurisdiction. So we'll be failing in front of her. Has anybody conquered material nature? Only the devotees can do that. If we are devotees of, say, lower grade, we'll be inspired to rise up, become Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikaris are also there. But we have to associate with, like, if we need to make progress, you know, that provision is there.
The risk is the progressive in nature. You mean to say this?
Everything is progressing in material nature because it is not our nature. We have to progress to come out from it. You must have done some meritorious activity in your past life. That's why you are progressing a little bit. But if you have still attachment to the material nature, then wait till you will get retired. You should have patience also.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Is there
Maharaj.
anybody having any more questions? Please go ahead. Okay, if nobody have questions, we can end the call here. Hare Krishna Maharaj, once again.
Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for coming in the call and giving such a nice, wonderful class and such a nice instruction, Maharaj. Thank you so much. We are very, very grateful to you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Maharaj,
Once
are you
again.
in USA or you are in India?
I'm in India right now. I'm in Vrindavan, but on 28th of May, I'll be in Vancouver, Canada, and then come. I will be leaving from Washington, D.C. back to India on about 28th of July.
Oh.
So June and July, I'm there.
Please come to Charlotte, Maharaj.
Aha. I owe. Okay, we'll see. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
I'm coming to the rally, that's for sure.
Yes, yes, Maharaj, I know.
Yeah, you can contact Ujjwal Rasagya.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Once again, we would like to offer our obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
vaishnavebhyo namo
Vaishnavebhyo
namah.
namo namah.
Anantokoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Holiness Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj
Maharaj
ki
Ki Jai. Hare Krishna
jai.
Maharaj.
Krishna
Dandavat
Maharaj.
pranam.
Thank you everyone for joining
Thank you so
today's
much,
class.
Maharaj.
We'll
Thank
going
you
to
very
end the
much.
call here.